Hello, good morning and welcome to Nwes Desk here on your Joy News channel on Multi TV. Coming up, heavy security deployment at the Supreme Court this morning as the Apex Court decides the fate of the contenders in the Munti FM case after they were pronounced guilty at the last hearing. We're live at the courts with the very latest. Civil and local government staff across the country begin indefinite strike over government's failure to pay their interim premiums. I will take you to the West Gonja district of the Northern region where students of the Ndura Japa Senior High School live in fear of contracting cerebrospinal meningitis. We'll tell you why. We have details of these stories and a lot more, including updates in the world of business and sports, coming up in the next hour here on Nwes Desk. Stay with us. My name is Kwabna Chenchen. Many thanks for joining us here on Nwes Desk. So our very first story, the Tsar and the Supreme Court is today expected to decide the fate of the contenders in the Munti FM case. Two panelists of the radio program Pampa, so Alistair Nelson and Godwin Akogan, host of the program Salifu Mase, popularly known as Mugabe, as well as owners of the station, were all found guilty of contempt for threatening to kill judges sitting on the voters register case. Now, the accused were found guilty for scandalizing the court, defying and lowering the authority of the court, and bringing it into disrepute by the court presided over by Justice Sophia Ekofo. But even before the Apex Court gives its judgment, we are told of heavy security deployment at the court over fears supporters of the accused persons may cause mayhem. We'll be touching base with our reporters on the ground, and we'll be bringing you some more on things that are currently happening in court this morning. But still staying with some issues relating to the judicial system, and former member of parliament from Kranza North, Amoakeng, has been acquitted and discharged over charges he was in possession of a forged document. The former legislator was arrested in August 2014 when he arrived in the country after serving a 10-year jail term in the United States of America for a drug-related offense. Joining Mrs. Joseph Akable was in court and filed this report.
The court in the ruling on Tuesday stated that prosecution failed to prove that the accused had knowledge, direct or implied, that the document in his possession was forged. Presiding Judge Ellen Vivian Amwa said the witnesses introduced by prosecution in the course of trial admitted that the accused was surprised when he was confirmed. The judge also mentioned that the accused during trial told the court that he acquired a passport after applying for it online. Lawyer for Amoakeng, Charles Posen, said his client feels vindicated by this ruling.
My first reaction basically is first to say that the law has spoken and that we put in a lot of work, and luckily for us, our client has been acquitted and discharged, and the judgment was really deep, and the court took time to evaluate all the evidence that was before it and concluded that Amoakeng was not guilty and therefore discharged him. Basically, he's always been worried about the fact that he didn't intend that he would come back to Ghana after serving his sentence to come and face another criminal prosecution. But I kept telling him that he will be fine and that he should just let us go through the motions, and then ultimately we've been vindicated today, and that his idea and the fact that he's never known that he's possessed a forged passport has been upheld by the court.
Tuesday's ruling ends the 23-month-old trial. For Joy News, Joseph Akable.
Now, work at the various ministries and local assemblies will likely be disrupted today as members of the... Right. We have to take that again, but it has to do with CLOCSAG members who have chosen to embark on a nationwide action today. It has to do with their market premiums. Let's do some checks across the country. Let's start off with the Greater Accra region, obviously, because we do know that quite a number of people who work in the ministries belong to CLOCSAG. Let's find out from Beatrice Edu, who has been doing some checks here in the capital Accra to ascertain whether or not these members indeed stayed away from the offices as directed by the national executives. Beatrice Edu is standing by with some more. Beatrice, good morning. Many thanks thanks for joining us. Can you tell us what the situation is and particularly which areas you've been to?
Indeed, Kwabna, I've been to the Education Ministry, I have been to the Health Ministry, as well as the Employment Ministry. I'm currently at the Finance Ministry monitoring events. At the first three places, that is the Education, Employment and Health, the workers there were fully embarking on the strike. At the Education Ministry, for instance, you could barely see anyone. I got two people on record who said that they actually passed through the office because they needed to work on something, but not because they came to work. I also met a member of the ClockSAT representative at that ministry who told me that they've been told to actually embark on a full strike, which means that nobody is supposed to report to work. However, the Employment Ministry, I met a few people there, none of them spoke with me on record. As I was saying, like I said earlier, I'm currently at the Finance Ministry, and interestingly, the workers are fully at pace. In fact, they don't even know that ClockSAT has started a strike today, and so they are fully working.
Is that to suggest that workers at the Finance Ministry are not part of ClockSAT?
That is what it seems to be. I actually met one person who said that he is a member of ClockSAT, but they don't know that they are embarking on the strike. So I'm unsure whether they were not communicated with or they just didn't take part in the strike.
Right. Beatrice, many thanks for that update. We're able to speak to a few other correspondents on this very issue. It appears we do not have all of them on the line, but we can now speak to ClockSAT and try and understand really what their challenge has to do with this very issue. Okay. Now I'm told we do have our Northern Regional correspondent who has also been doing some checks on phone now. Let's speak to him first and then we can get to ClockSAT and understand really what their concerns are. Hasmin, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Can you tell us what the situation in the Northern Region is?
Well, the situation is normal. The impact of the strike is yet to be felt. I've been to the Northern Regional Coordinating Council and then the Sanarigu District Assembly, and all these areas that I have been to, members of ClockSAT are still working. Some of them who wouldn't like to speak on record says they are waiting to see how their members in the national capital will go about the event before they can follow. So it appears for them, for ClockSAT members here in Tamale, they are still having some kind of doubts about the strike, not until they see its effect or its impact being felt in the national capital. They wouldn't want to join in the strike.
Okay, Hashmi, many thanks for that update. That was Hashmi Mohammed with an update on the strike situation by ClockSAT members in the Northern Region. Let's try and understand the real issues from ClockSAT themselves, like I said earlier. And joining me now on phone is Ibrahim Mami, who happens to be the Northern Regional Secretary of ClockSAT. He is joining us on phone now. He will help us understand really their concerns. And let me also say that we will be speaking in a short while also to the Chief Executive of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, Mr. George Smith Graham. He will be joining in a conversation pretty shortly. But let's start off with ClockSAT first of all and understand their issues. Mr. Mami, good morning. Many thanks for joining us, sir.
Hello.
Okay, so I first and foremost wanted to ask about reasons for this strike, but it appears not everybody is complying to this directive of yours, this national directive that suggests that ClockSAT members, you need to stay out of offices until your interim premiums are paid. Why so? A house divided can never really stand, can it?
Yeah, it is very true, but you should expect that. In any case, by the Constitution, any other two people can form a grouping. So you should have. You should expect that you might have some infiltrators within your ranks. So this is not new to us, and it's not a surprise to us anyway.
But I mean, if you're fighting the same cause and some of your members decide to abandon the cause, some would say you are fighting a lost battle from scratch.
No matter what it is, we are fighting for our membership. We have our membership, and our membership are adhering to our directive. And we are very optimistic that we shall, achieve whatever we want.
In the Northern Region, where you happen to be Regional Secretary, we are told that a number of people there are still at posts. Is that not a bit of a problem for you?
Today marks the beginning, and this is the starting point. is the starting bid. So you should expect that.
Okay.
However, we know that we are anticipating that it will.
Okay, so we seem to have lost on the phone lines there. Ibrahim Mami, who is the Northern Regional Secretary of CLOGSAC. I understand we are trying to re-establish connection with him. Once we have him, we'll try and bring back the conversation to you. But it has to do with members of CLOGSAC, and they are fighting for interim market premium. So they are saying that it appears that government has sidelined them, or government is really not seeing this issue, their issue, as a bit of priority. So this very action, that's a strike action, is to compel government to see them also as a priority. They need these monies paid to them as soon as possible. Let's take a break here on Nwes Desk. When we come back, we'll bring you all these conversations and a few more. Stay on.